A lot of finger pointing is happening right now as FTX crumbles, and we need to find out who to blame.
The guy's brilliant. He talks very fast, but he's brilliant, and I trust him and I like him.
Fees are bad. Fees are very bad. But FTX, there are no fees whatsoever.
And if you sign up with our link,
in reality, like, you guys got scammed.
I want to start off by saying I don't think Spencer is necessarily a bad person for what we're about to discuss. I think he's essentially been bought with the right amount of money.
I stand behind my belief that most influencer-driven NFTs and crypto coins will either become a pump and dump, an overhyped project that doesn't deliver, a terrible investment, or a legalized Ponzi scheme.
And it seems like being greedy on YouTube doesn't have a negative impact on your long-term performance on the platform, as we could see with someone like Jikh. And as a result of him recently going out of his way to defend these unethical finance YouTubers using bad faith arguments, today we're going to be discussing how Spencer Cornelia is destroying his own reputation. So if you don't know who Spencer is, essentially what he does is expose fake gurus and online frauds for a living. He initially got popular off a series he used to make called Authentic or Charlatan, which was actually how I found his channel. He then later switched over to a commentary style of video, exposing internet frauds like Austin McBroom or Fresh and Fit. And when you make this style of content, the only important thing is to not be anything like those people that you've spent so much time exposing publicly. But as Spencer became more and more famous, he decided to start associating himself with notorious finance YouTube grifters like Meet Kevin, Andrei Jikh, and Graham Stephan, who are all formerly great YouTubers who now sell their souls willing to shill absolutely anything to their subscribers for monetary gain, despite the fact that they all live in multi-million-dollar mansions and they're all filthy rich. Also, I would like to mention they're all signed to the same agency called Creators Agency, which of course Spencer fails to disclose in his video defending them, and I believe this is why he's decided to jump to their defense in this situation.
Show me the money!
To fully understand how Spencer has destroyed his reputation and what he's talking about in this video we're about to react to, we must first understand the collapse of FTX. This is a very complex issue that would take a lot of time to explain in full, so just to give you a quick rundown, it was essentially a Ponzi scheme where the founder, Sam Bankman-Fried.
okay, the guy you see next to me is the most generous billionaire in the world, and I found him.
Turned out to actually not be so generous. Instead, a complete fraud who somehow managed to tank the entire crypto market.
Over $150 billion. In 3 days, that's how much the world's 15 largest cryptocurrencies lost in market value. It's because of the crypto exchange platform FTX, which is behind this token, named FTT.
To put it simply, once FTX got exposed for having most of their assets in their own useless crypto coin, FTT, people tried taking their money out, but because they moved a lot of their funds over to another company owned by Sam Bankman-Fried, Alameda Research, they didn't have the money to process everyone's withdrawals. So they declared bankruptcy and tanked the entire crypto market in the process. That's just the simplified version. It's much more complex than what I just said, but there's a million different videos on this subject. I'll definitely link a few good ones in the description down below. So let's get on to Spencer's video.
The finance YouTubers who promoted FTX are under fire right now. They were paid money to promote a company that ultimately went bankrupt and caused customers to lose money. A lot of videos are attacking them. Are they to blame? There is one bad actor here. Sam Bankman-Fried is essentially a degenerate gambler who got greedy and lost. Everyone involved is now taking the blame for one man's actions.
So as we're watching this video, I want you to keep in mind Spencer is an objectively smart guy, and this video is scripted. Every single word he says is 100% deliberate. What Spencer is doing here is setting the stage to begin to shift all of the blame for the collapse of FTX to one person and one person only.
There is one bad actor here.
And attempting to shift blame away from those who decided to compromise their own morals and to market this absolute scam of a company to the same followers who initially made them rich.
The first argument I'm presenting is that FTX had global sponsors with audiences exponentially larger than anyone sponsored on YouTube. From my perspective, if you're looking to place blame and you're a logical and reasonable adult and use a weighted scale, then finance YouTubers should receive such an insignificant amount that it's not even statistically important.
That is blasphemy. That is blasphemy, okay? Blasphemy. People need to go to hell for saying that nonsense.
This is a straw man argument. Essentially, the past minute of the video, he's been saying how FTX sponsored the Miami Heat stadium, the MLB refs had FTX patches on their jerseys, etc. However, what he fails to mention is the difference between these two types of sponsorships. A YouTuber, specifically a good one like Spencer himself, has a strong connection with their audience that a giant corporation like the MLB could never have. So people tend to trust YouTubers that they follow closely much more than like Tom Brady or Steph Curry, for example. These two examples are not comparable in any possible way. Finance YouTubers are held to a standard that involves actually taking accountability for the companies that they promote. Nobody's saying they personally caused the collapse of FTX, but what people are saying is that they should return the post-tax income they made off of this scam and help those who have been negatively impacted by the company that they promoted, which turned out to be a scam. But they won't. They'll just say, oops, sorry guys. Spencer's friends actually love that FTX bag so much, Meet Kevin, Andrei Jikh, Graham Stephan all decided to start an entire podcast called Millennial Money, whose main sponsor was FTX, by the way, where the logo was plastered on the screen non-stop.
Yeah, were we sponsored by FTX? Yeah, that's probably why it's taken down, is because there were mentions, a lot of mentions to FTX. You know, they had sponsored all of Millennial Money. So I get that. That's probably why it's gone. That's probably why all of the channel videos have been removed, but
all while giving financial advice and having discussions which tie in directly into finance and crypto much more than the Miami Heat or the MLB ever could.
Tom Brady and Stephen Curry are scamming people. Do you understand how much bigger the reach and how much more influence these celebrities have than finance YouTubers? I'm not trying to tell you who to blame.
Not the cap.
I'm just presenting the argument that if you were someone who's blaming influencers, then those who are reaching 50 to 100 million people probably are a little more at fault than someone with a fraction of the audience size.
Yes, Spencer, you're not telling us who to blame. You just wrote an entire script attempting to shift the blame away from people who you conveniently failed to disclose that you happen to share creative agencies with. I'm genuinely curious how much money this agency or these guys gave Spencer to make this video, because I'm telling you, as someone who's been following this guy for the past 3 years now, there is a 0% chance he would be taking this position if he was not financially incentivized to do so in one way or another.
I think CoffeeZilla makes an argument that many in the comment section do, which is finance YouTubers are supposed to be finance experts and they're giving financial advice and they should know better is essentially the argument. Investors who put $2 billion into FTX face scrutiny too. Venture capital firms and investment funds shyly but failed crypto exchanges. You have some of the smartest investors in the world investing $200 million into FTX, and somehow finance YouTubers should have known it was a scam?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
That doesn't really add up. I'm sorry, CoffeeZilla, but that's not an argument that holds any weight.
Another straw man argument. The issue is not that they should have known it was a scam. The issue is that these people, like Graham Stephan, Meet Kevin, Andrei Jikh, all claim to be financial gurus or experts. So if you're going to be telling others what to do with their money or accepting money to promote something, you should know exactly what you are promoting. These guys he's defending are the exact kind of people Spencer used to call out for their actions, and they should be called out for those actions, not defended because the MLB umpires also promoted FTX. Sure, obviously they can't predict the future and tell what's going to happen, but there were plenty of red flags in FTX for us to know months ago that FTX was not exactly the most ethical company to shill to your audience. Instead, Spencer's friends conveniently turned a blind eye to those red flags in pursuit of making more money for themselves, and in the end, their fans are the ones that take the huge financial losses, not the creators who are already rich. I don't want to hear any of this "I'm sorry." If you're sorry, put your money where your mouth is give the money back, but they won't.
The point I'm making is that if you're someone who is placing the blame on finance YouTubers, then you're stating that they should have known it was a scam, even though hundreds of people had full access to the company and didn't know what was to come.
Yes, before you take a sponsorship deal to sell to your audience, you should do proper due diligence to ensure that your own fans don't get scammed. If I'm going to promote Manscaped in the future, I'm going to use this thing first to know that it's not going to cut every inch of skin on my followers' bodies. Is that really that bad of a thing to argue, Spencer? I get that he's fighting a losing battle here, defending con artists who are willing to promote absolutely anything for another paycheck, but this is quite disappointing coming from someone who used to expose these same types of people, going so far out of his way to defend these guys. In 2 weeks, this will all be swept under the rug, and it'll be business as usual for everyone involved. That's the sad part about this whole thing.
In an ideal world, the SEC head would have spidey senses for fraudsters. Maybe he is complicit somehow too, and how are we all supposed to know? Even BitBoy Crypto acknowledges that someone being sponsored by FTX isn't the bad guy and that no one knew what was going on.
Bro, BitBoy Crypto?
FTT, that is the token of FTX. Sam Bankman-Fried, everything this man touches turns to gold. I don't know. Moon.
Bro, Spencer knows BitBoy Crypto is the definition of a con artist. Spencer does his homework before he makes a video. You know your argument is poor when you have to bring up the fact that this guy
told you there's a project guaranteed to increase in price. I know you would probably want to jump in, but I'm sure the first thought you would have would be,
is on the same side as you.
What we witnessed is one person committing some of the worst financial crimes of our time. SBF deserves to be in jail for defrauding millions of investors and customers and causing absolute financial mayhem. Look, I'm not here to tell you how to think or what to believe. I've just seen so much hate thrown towards finance YouTubers as if they were the problem. This is a situation where one bad actor has caused billions of dollars of harm and no one knew. Influencers are not the problem.
Bro, this entire 8-minute video is attempting to deflect blame off the people who promoted FTX and onto just the one guy who is the founder of FTX. Come on, Spencer. Influencers as a whole are not the problem. The problem is people that actively promote a company which ended up stealing all of their customers' money, then refuse to actually do anything about all the money that their followers lost, then going on to apologize just to maintain their reputation.
I feel terrible. I wish there was a way to go back and warn that these companies could collapse.
Not because they're actually sorry for the thousands that signed up as a result of their influence and losing thousands of dollars. Again, if they're truly sorry, return the money. If they're not going to do that, they essentially want all the benefits of promoting scams, but none of the actual steps required to take accountability for their own actions.
I'm friends with all of the influencers who promoted FTX, so if you want to get mad at finance YouTubers, you're more than welcome to be mad at me too. Since it was such an obvious scam, apparently, then I'm an idiot too.
Yeah, you are an idiot for getting in front of a camera and defending con artists who are in an indefensible situation who you, like I said before, would have called out in the past. You are now bought and paid for, and you're making that painfully obvious on video.
If you use a weighted scale, the percent of blame should be as follows: 100% on Sam Bankman-Fried and 0% on others.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Oh, okay guys, so no one who directly marketed this scam of a company to their followers should receive any blame. None of the people that helped this absolute con artist, Sam Bankman-Fried, get customers to steal money deserve any of the blame. Case closed. Sorry guys, my mistake.
Keep in mind that everyone involved here has experienced damages. Every innocent customer has lost their funds. Finance YouTubers have experienced reputational damage.
Oh no, the rich millionaires who actively promoted a scam are receiving reputational damages? Oh no. So all in all, this would be the equivalent of like if I started being Islamophobic on video like True Jordy, or calling for everyone to be canceled like Ethan Decline. You guys, my subscribers, probably wouldn't like me for much longer. All in all, these finance YouTubers are all cringe 50-year-old grown men who will take any sponsorship that this Ponzi pushing creator agency will push at them.
the most generous billionaire ever, where you can get 10% off on your trading fee.
To go out of your way to defend these clowns who put themselves in this situation by literally ruining the lives of thousands of their own fans financially is ridiculous, coming from someone who became famous for exposing fake gurus and people who do unethical things to make money online. It's very obvious that from the beginning to the end of this video, he's trying to shift blame away from his friends. And although I can appreciate the sentiment, it's obvious that moving forward, Spencer is willing to put monetary gain above all else, including the same ethics and morals that made him famous initially. Obviously, he shouldn't be canceled for sticking up for his boys and trying to get rich in a capitalistic society. I think these are totally normal and human things to do. But personally, I'll no longer be supporting his channel moving forward. Regarding what you guys do, it is completely up to you. I'm just here to present my case as to how the exposer has exposed himself. Whether you agree or disagree with my way of thinking, I think we can all agree that being paid to promote such a company as a self-proclaimed financial expert is an unethical thing to do, and if it were me, at the very least, I would return the money that I scammed from my own fans. But that's just what I think. I'd love to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. Other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful day.